Hey guys, welcome back to Puff It Louder, and welcome back to Charade Maniacs, where we are basically looking at the stars with our cleaning crew boys. We have Futami, Gyobu, and Banjo. Banjo and the MC found Ibana's arm, or a doll version of his arm, which looked super lifelike, in an antique store. I have no idea what we're gonna do with that information. We didn't even tell anybody about it, so I guess it's just something that we note in the back of our minds as audience. But we're going to decide whether or not we want to either look at new constellations or observe the moons. So we're gonna go and look at new constellations, because why not? With such a messy, starry night, there could be some constellations I've never even seen before. I started to enjoy pointing at the starry sky. I realized that Tomase was also observing the sky right next to me, and I laughed. It's been a while since we've looked at the stars.
そうだな。中学生まではやってたか。
I think so. I took my younger siblings and we all sat together on the veranda. We all fought over the one telescope we had.
新しい星を探すんだとかなんとか言って、毎回騒がしかったな。今回とさほど変わらない。
I don't know about it being like when we were grade or middle schoolers. I don't know about it being like when we were what? What does that mean?
本当に。せっかく綺麗な星空なんだから、ゆっくり静かに眺めたい。できれば二人で。
I feel like maybe she meant to say I don't remember it being like this, but they just forgot to say this. He said that the choice is mine to make. Oh gosh, ow, flashbang.
今はそれでもいい。お前が現状維持を望んでることぐらい、俺にだって分かってる。だからお前が決めていい。今気がつくか、後で気がつくか。焦って答えを引き出しても、きっとダメなんだろう。
It could be now or later, but Tomase said that eventually I'd have to come to a decision. If I quit trying to keep things the same and give him my answer, I'm sure that he'll be fine with it. But is this romantic interest? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. If you asked me that, I wouldn't know. One thing I was sure of, though. Tomase is my childhood friend, and he's like a little brother to me. That feeling wouldn't change, but still. I don't know if this is romance, but if I'm wrong, it hurts to think about how Tomase would react if I gave him that answer. I don't want to be unable to go back to how things were. I'm afraid of things changing. I don't think I need to rush to come to an answer in this insane world either. Even if I did, Tomase wouldn't. I didn't want to hurt Tomase. We'd been together all this time. I didn't want that to change at all. I don't mean that I want it to be just us. A bitter taste filled my mouth. On the verge of tears, I stared at Tomase. Tomase noticed my gaze was on him and he stopped looking at the sky to talk to me.
どうした日和？もう帰るか？
No, I'm okay for now.
そうか。しかし、こう星が入り混じると空が明るいな。子供のおもちゃ箱みたいに賑やかだ。
The stars looked like they could fall at any moment. For the first time, I thought the stars were blinding. So she still doesn't fucking... We're finally on his route! Next to me. Alright, here we go. Here we go. She still didn't even fucking answer it. How did we end up on his route? Okay. A few days after we went stargazing as a team, the dramas were going well for me, and things were surprisingly peaceful. Another day was about to end. Currently at 431 points. As of last night, Tomase had 640. I think that means he has the most. But just the other day, Akase said that he had 596. If he got more, maybe he has the same as Tomase? Or maybe Akase has even more. How many points do we need to save in order to get back to our world? I don't know, but it feels like we're close to it. We were only allowed to view our own points from the other world stream. That's why it was impossible to tell how many points others had if they didn't tell you. Either way, Tomase was on the higher end. When he got a reward the other time, it was because he had the highest points. I wonder if it's because he's in the drama club. I get the feeling that we're making progress thanks to how Tomase is accumulating those points. It felt great to know we'd return home soon, and I was so proud because my childhood friend was behind it all. There were times that we'd disagree or misunderstand each other, but seeing how well Tomase was doing felt great. And once we returned to our world, I felt that our relationship would be normal again. I had no idea at the time that I would regret my short-sightedness. Oh no. Tomase, you there? I wanted to talk before going to bed. I knocked on his door, but I didn't get a response. Is he in the bath or the living room? I got curious and went to the living room, but I didn't see Tomase there either. Tommy was there, so I asked him instead.
Banjo か？夕食から見てないな。部屋にいなかったのか？
No, maybe he went outside.
かもしれない。でも珍しいな。バンジョーが夜に出かけるなんて。
When I heard that, I was even more curious. Tomase mostly preferred being indoors, and I'd never seen him go out at night. Of course, that was only in Arcadia. I wonder where he went. I want to talk to him about the points. It isn't that important, but I decided to go to bed and talk the next day. However, I was worried about Tomase, so I sent him a message. Tomase, where are you right now? Less than a minute later, I got a response. God, he's responding so fast. Oh, he's over here again? I took in my surroundings, but I still didn't find who I was looking for. Did he head back already? I didn't say that I was coming here. If we had missed each other, I would have just gone back to the lodging. But I was already at the spot, so I sat down and looked up at the sky. On second thought, the stars really are amazing. The night sky looked like someone spilled them across space. The countless glittering stars and moonlight illuminated the darkness. I don't even mind that the sky's fake anymore. It's still pretty. I heard someone run towards me while I was still looking at the sky.
なんでここにいるんだ？
He was out of breath. He probably ran all the way to me. I didn't think that I'd see him. Tomase, you said you were here. I thought maybe I'd see you if I came.
そう思ったのならメッセージで伝えればいいだろう。すぐ迎えに行ったのに。
I thought that would be faster if I came here myself. No need to get so angry.
怒るに決まってる。もう夜遅いのに一人で出歩くな。
It's okay. Arcadia's safe and I have Watcher. I don't see many Arcadians at night either. Watcher beeped at me as if responding to what I was saying.
プロデューサー側の奴らが言ってることなんて信用できるか？異世界人もどんなイレギュラーがあるかわからないだろう。あいつらは化け物なんだ。人間らしい感情も持ち合わせない。予測できない化け物なんだ。お前はこの世界の全てに気をつけるべきだ。
That's true. That was something I'd considered after what happened during maintenance. I won't be able to do anything if I'm always afraid.
なら俺を呼べ。一緒にいれば助けてやれるが、一人の時は無理だ。呼んでくれればいつでも行くから。それくらいはできるだろう。今だって。
But isn't that hard on you, Tomase?
心配なんだ。後で悔やむよりはその方がいい。
Oh, okay. I'll do that starting next time.
ああ。
After I realized that Tomase had calmed down a little, I remembered why I was there. Hey, Tomase, why don't we stargaze together? You said that we should the other day, right? Tomase looked at me with surprise. It seemed he hadn't considered I wanted to be here for that reason. I took some time to think about it, and sometimes it's nice to look at the stars together. It would make me feel like I did back home, and it would help me forget about Arcadia too.
それは正直嬉しいが。
Then let's watch them together, just like the old days.
帰りは絶対に一緒に帰るからな。
Sure. Tomase gradually calmed down, and we sat next to each other while looking at the starry sky. The constellations were random, but they oddly brought back old memories. When we get back to the other side, let's go stargazing like this again. You know, on the veranda together. What's wrong? Is something on your mind? You can tell me, we're alone right now. Earlier, I wanted to talk to you about the points, but seeing the stars, I don't really care about that right now.
そうか。
I noticed that Tomose was being really quiet. He really had something that he wanted to say. However, in times like those, even if I pursued the matter, he would never reveal anything to me. At least the starry sky makes this world not as bad. I mumbled that and didn't push the issue further. After a while, Tomose finally spoke up.
お前はこれからどうしたいんだ？この世界も悪くないってことは、まだ戻らなくてもいいと思うようになったのかと思って。
No. When I mentioned the points, I was talking about how you've earned a lot so far. I was wondering how many points we'd need to go back to our world. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to go back as soon as possible. I'm saving up points for that, but it looks like you'd be ahead of me, Tomose.
期間を選択できるくらい、俺がポイントを貯めたとして。
He'd been looking far out into the sky, but suddenly stared right at me.
俺が元の世界へ戻ることを選ぶと思ってるのか？
Huh? You won't?
どう思う？この世界にいれば、俺はお前と一緒にいられると言っただろう。
Oh my god.
恋人同士を演じることだってできると。俺はそのことに満足している。お前が俺以外のやつと恋愛ドラマをやるのだけは見たくないが。
I really don't want to be in or watch any romance dramas. It's embarrassing. Tomose's choice of words made me nervous. While he said that he didn't really want to go back, Tomose was gaining a lot of points at a steady pace. He was probably why he was getting careless. He was saying all of that, but I felt like he would just choose to go back when he had enough points. We should go back together. It would be weird to be here forever. Let's work hard so we can return together. You'd just go insane if you stay here too long. Right when I said that,
また。
Tomose stood up, expressionless, as if to interrupt me.
またそれか。
Huh? The silver moonlight had cast a dark shadow over Tomose's face. I couldn't look away from that cold stare.
みんなで。俺はお前に気づいていないと言ったよな。
Oh gosh.
対等じゃない。そのことにお前が気づかないから、俺はこの世界にいたいんだ。
I tried to remember the conversation we had that night and nodded.
お前はいつもみんなと言って、俺以外を優先していると気づいていたか？
Oh, does she do that? Huh? I was starting to get flustered and Tomose's tone became harsher.
お前は周りに目を向ける。他人を優先する。自分は後回しにして。なのにどうして俺の方は向いてくれないんだ。みんなの中に俺は入っていないのか。みんなのことを考えるお前の中に俺はいないのか。
Yeah, that's true. She never prioritizes his feelings. She always picks everybody else. She doesn't care about herself, and then she includes Tomose in that. So literally, like, she's like, oh, well, we should do what everybody else wants. But Tomose's always getting fucked over. That's so true. Oh my god. Tomose's tone and expression were trying to tell me something.
ずっとお前のそばにいたのは俺だ。俺はいつだってお前のことを一番に考えてる。
His tone and expression? Girl, he's literally telling you something. He's saying it with his words.
考えているから、お前が気づくまで、お前が自分で俺の気持ちを認めようとするまで待とうと思ってた。なのにお前は俺から目をそらす。
Oh. Tomose's gloomy expression broke and outpoured words he'd been holding back.
いつだってそうだ。お前は昔からよく他人のフォローに回っていた。それがお前の優しさだって俺は知ってる。でもお前は俺のことをちゃんと考えてくれたことがあったか？
She takes him for granted. When Tomose looked up, I saw heartbreak. Seeing him like that, I knew no matter what my words, it would just sound like an excuse. I felt like I would hurt him more, so I kept quiet.
言っただろ。ここにいれば、俺はお前と恋人同士を演じることができる。俺はそれに満足しているって。
Picture get. Oh, He pulled me in close and I floated for a moment. Look at how beautiful. Oh my god. He held me tight and his chest was against mine. We would fit so well together. In the past, we used to be so similar. Now he was so much bigger and stronger than me.
俺はお前が好きなんだ。幼なじみなんかじゃない。俺にとってお前がただの幼なじみだったことなんてなかった。
He finally confessed.
俺にとってはずっと大切な存在だ。誰よりもお前のことが好きだった。
Oh.
そう伝えるはずだったんだ。この世界へ来る前にお前に言うはずだった。
Wait a second. I wanted to say it before we came to Arcadia. That sentence could be taken in a very different way. Does that mean that he knew that we were going to be coming to Arcadia?
たとえお前にそういう気持ちがなくても俺も男だって気づいてほしかった。だから言おうと思った。
Tomase. His confession felt suffocating. In an instant, there was no going back. It was all I could think about. Wait, this is too sudden.
急だと思ってるのはお前だけだって言っただろ。
Yeah, he's right. He's right. You're the only one that thinks it's too sudden. He's been fucking leading up to this for the past fucking 15 plus episodes. Get out of here. Tomase's embrace felt even stronger than before. He'd been waiting for it the entire time. He always tried to gauge my reaction so that her relationship wouldn't be ruined. Also, how heartbreaking is it to, like, I'm so glad that he can't read this, but like, for her to say that, like, this is her childhood friend. This is somebody who she should care about. Like, even if she doesn't love him in a romantic way, she should at least love him in the like way that like friends do, you know, like a platonic way. But for her to be like, oh, his confession was suffocating, I felt like tied down by it. I felt like he was just forcing me into something. It's like, this man has been carrying his feelings for God knows how fucking long. At least do your friend, as a friend, do your friend the justice of hearing them out and then telling them, hey, I do feel this way, or no, I don't, and I really would like it if we could stay friends because I value our friendship. Like, no matter what, your relationship, your friendship is going to change down the line. Like, nobody stays the same forever, you know? So for her to just tell him, like, oh, it's too sudden, oh, blah, 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 and she's like constantly making excuses, constantly trying to avoid it. It's like the most hurtful thing. I feel so bad for Banjo. I feel like he shouldn't even like her. Like, I feel like no one should like her because if that's the way that she's going to handle, like, a confession, let alone like how she treats her best friend, it's just, that's not a person that I would want to be with. And I feel like if she tries to tell him yes here, I'm going to be upset. This is the first time that I've played an anime game where I feel like the MC genuinely should not be in a relationship because I feel like she's just too immature for it. Like, she is on the younger side, so maybe that's the reason why as well. Because I think with like Cafe Enchanté and with Steam Prison, well, I don't know, because I think Cyrus, like the main character in Steam Prison, was around her age too, like 16 or so, right? But, or 18 maybe? But, like, I just feel like this MC, Senna, she's just, like, she shouldn't be here. Like, if Banjo is telling her this and she says, like, she either gives him a weak yes or she gives him a weak no. If she gives either one of those things, I will be pissed at her. I really, really, really hope that she can, you know, kind of just straighten herself out and say, Like, just give him the respect that he deserves, okay? I'm sorry to go on such a rant. Like, it's just... I feel so bad for him. I feel like all of this could have just easily been talked through, where, yes, he kind of fucked up by not telling her right away, and kind of like pouting and doing all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, he still was way more straightforward with his feelings than she ever was with knowing that he likes her. Like, the other characters were mentioning, like, oh yeah, he definitely, like, you can tell. And she just listens to this and switches the topic. Like, even when he is addressing her and being like, you never look at me. You never, like, pay attention to what I want. You talk about everybody else and what everybody else wants, and you never include me in it. And she's just like, what do you mean? Like, she's, like, playing dumb, and it... Oh, God, it makes me so mad. Anyways, let's continue. Tomase knew that if it went any further, he'd be going past the point of no return. You're already past the point of no return, lady. The feeling of comfort in that moment had already been destroyed. It had been impossible to keep things as they were from the start. Ever since that first kiss, everything had begun breaking down.
Shiori, 俺を見てくれ。
I tried to look away, but Tomase pulled my face back toward him. Under the moonlight, Tomase's face looked so serious. It looked like he was about to cry.
ここにいれば、ドラマの中でお前と恋人同士になれる。キスだってできる。それがたとえ嘘だったとしても、ただの幼馴染に戻るよりは、元の世界に戻ってお前が誰かのものになるよりはずっとマシなことなんだ。
He's like...
俺にとっては。
This is where his immaturity comes in too. Like, he thinks that if they stay, that she'll never, like, leave him. But the more that he, like, pushes for her to be with him, I think the further away she's going. So he's just saying, like, oh, if I stay here, then we can be together, even if it's just, like, a hallucination or a delusion. Like, I don't care. We can still be together. But that's not genuinely going to make him happy, you know? Like, for him to truly be happy, she would say yes to him. But instead, she's been, you know, dodging him this entire time. And I feel like deep down, he probably knows how she feels. So he, like, doesn't want to admit that. And he's just trying to, like, pretend I do not see kind of thing, you know? Even if it's all a lie. I wanted to listen to everything Tomase had to say, but his words became twisted. They were distorted in a way that cut deep and bruised my heart.
俺にとってこの世界は俺の望みが叶うアルカディアだ。誰が苦しもうと関係ない。俺はお前さえいればいい。現実ではできないことがここではできる。現実ではお前にキスできないし、お前の恋人になることも。
Wait. So why is he so certain that in reality this would never happen? Like, is she not alive? Is she gone? That's my next thought. Like, the way that he talks, it seems...
ない。
Yeah. Tomase made up his mind about this because I wanted things to stay the same. I knew I loved Tomase, but it wasn't a romantic love. He's just a friend. I processed what Tomase had said and my mind began to settle. I love Tomase and I care about him, but I never thought of him that way. If I started to get thoughts like that, our friendship would break down. Tomase knew that I wanted to keep things as they were, so he never told me how he felt. I felt terrible. I was the reason he was satisfied living a lie, while he wanted to live out his dreams in Arcadia. His fixation with the world we were in, I felt like it was my fault. If I had just cared not only about everyone's feelings, but about Tomase's feelings too. She's finally getting the picture. then maybe I wouldn't have caused Tomase so much pain. Maybe he wouldn't be looking at me like that. You're so close, but I'm sorry. But was that really true? Would Tomase not have gone through so much pain if I had only realized it? I don't understand. I still don't know what it means to have romantic feelings. Tomase slowly let go and he took a step away from me. His fiery emotions began to cool down and I could feel him, or I could feel Tomase becoming himself again. We were no longer touching and his warmth faded from my body. Tomase, I thought I cared about you. No, I still do. I just never considered being romantic with you.
わかってる。でもそれが嫌だった。
Oh, I'm sorry. Tomase was about to say something but stopped. He shook his head from side to side and then fixed his posture before looking at me.
日和、これからの話をしよう。
From now on?
お前がどうしても元の世界へ戻りたいなら、俺はお前に協力する。俺の気持ちを利用してくれて構わない。
Yikes.
俺はお前が好きだから、お前が本当にそう望むなら断れない。でも、俺に協力を願うなら条件がある。
Oh no. What is it?
もう俺のことを幼馴染だと思うのはやめてくれ。俺のことは一人の男だと思ってほしい。これは俺のためだ。卑怯だと言ってくれていい。お前が俺のことをちゃんと考えてくれるなら俺もそれに応える。でもそうじゃないなら俺の気持ちを幼馴染だと言い張って見ないふりを続けるなら俺から逃げ続けるつもりなら。
It's sad that he has to resort to this, because obviously you don't want to push somebody, you don't want to threaten somebody to be like, you need to see me this way and blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is that, like, if he doesn't say that, then she will literally keep running forever. Like, she would have just dodged him forever and ever and ever unless he frickin' asks and he puts in the work. So I don't, like, as much as, like, this is obviously not ideal, don't do this, but I can understand where he's coming from, like, why he's doing it.
もう俺のことは放っておいてくれ。
Oh.
俺がドラマにどう取り組もうがポイントを貯めようがお前には関係ない。
Yeah.
俺は俺のために俺のやりたい行動を取る。
I felt a sharp pain in my heart, in addition to the dullness entering my body.
これで分かっただろう。機関に協力できない。自分勝手でも卑怯でもそれが俺の決めた答えだ。
Like, and it's not necessarily like he's asking, you have to like me back. No, he's just saying, can you at least view my feelings? Like, can you see that I'm putting myself out there for you? Like, can you see that I am telling you I love you? Like, can you accept it? Or will you at least give me the time to say, like, no, you don't want to be with me that way? Like, at least let me down so I'm not hanging in limbo forever. Yeah, I don't know. I feel so bad. The pain increased until I was numb. Selfish. I won't call you selfish. I had averted my eyes from Tomase so that I wouldn't notice his feelings. This was the result of me running away. Even if this result couldn't be avoided, I should have considered Tomase more and talked it over. I just hope that you'll give it some thought.
何を？
Your family, friends, school, drama club? You can't have any of that if you stay in Arcadia. None of that is here. Are you sure you want to give that up, Tomase?
でもお前がいる。何回も言っただろう。俺にとってはお前のいる世界だけが俺のいるべき世界だ。
Oh my god. We didn't talk after that. I couldn't really say anything else, so Tomase gave up the fight and headed back to the lodging. As he turned to leave, he looked back and slowly held out his hand. I knew what I had to do. I took his hand in silence. Yeah, I made a promise. We continued to hold hands along the dark path back. This has happened before. When we were small, Thomas and I had a big fight. It became really awkward, but we ended up holding hands on the way home. We promised that we would return together. We never said it out loud, but we promised to always hold hands and stay together.
It's fucked. We're gonna stop here. Oh gosh, that's rough, man. Not ideal. We start Banjo's route and then we just fucking get wrecked, basically. I don't even, like... God, I talked so much in this episode, I'm so sorry, but, like... I don't see how this is his route. like, do you guys feel the same way? Normally, in an otome, you play through the route, and you get to whoever it is that you're eyeing, and then it's like, oh, romance, oh, love, blah, blah, blah. This game has been like, oh, you want to be with your childhood best friend? Well, too bad, the MC fucking hates him, and she wants to avoid him at all costs. She doesn't give a shit about his feelings, and he's gonna admit his love to her and put her in all these extremely awkward and uncomfortable situations, and you get to watch. Woo! Like, why? Why? I just want Banjo to be happy. Why is this so difficult? I mean, like, how is this going to end well? I don't see how this is going to end well. Because clearly, like, through this entire common route and through, like, the very little bit that we played of his route, it's clear that she doesn't like him. She has said it over and over again. I see him as a little brother. I see him as family. I see him as a childhood friend. She never once says, I see him romantically. So how is this gonna happen? I don't understand. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, next episode. Oh gosh. We just pray for Banjo. I don't know. We'll see.